Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the channel World of Wrestling, here today to do a small rant on the WWE draft that I got the results for Monday Night Raw's episode, which, by the way, guys, I have been really having a hard time trying to fit in the retro Raw reviews from back in 97. I think that is going to discontinue, unfortunately, because of timing. The Impact Wrestling shows have not been really doing it very well on the channel very much. I'm not really using the app that much, Impact Plus. I think I'm probably going to let go of that just for financial reasons. And I'm going to start doing Raw reviews on Tuesday night. I have it recorded on YouTube TV. I like watching Monday Night Football, and that way I can skip through the commercials and any of the boring shit and then come on here and rant with you guys about how shitty the show really was. I could start the show at like 7 o'clock. Watch Raw at 7 o'clock at night on a Tuesday night. Get it done within like 2 hours because I'll be able to skip through an hour of commercials and give you guys my own personal opinion on the show itself. So you guys can get some enjoyment out of me ranting, raving, and saying how terrible the show is. And I can skip through anything I don't particularly want to sit through and be bored out of my fucking mind for 3 whole hours on a Monday night when I can be watching entertaining football, which, by the way, tonight was not exactly that good of football. May I add, the Raiders were losing terribly to the Chargers 21-7. I don't know how the game is going now. It's still in the early part of the third quarter. They were on a delay, so I didn't get to watch much of it, and I can't stay up that late to be watching football on a Monday night when I got work the next day anyhow. But let's get into the very first round of this fucking dreadful, and I mean dreadful, pathetic fucking show. Not the show, just the overall draft. I'm not going to talk about the show because I didn't actually watch it. I just checked the results. I'll watch the Raw episode tomorrow. There's an appearance by Goldberg. I'm sure that's going to be outrageously dumb and horrible. I can't wait to shit all over that with all you Goldberg fans out there. If this was in the 90s, I wouldn't be complaining about Goldberg, but this is not the 90s. This is 2021. Let's move on with reality and stop living in the past. If you want to watch the old school stuff, go watch WCW Nitro on the Peacock Network. You'll definitely be able to catch all of Goldberg's action and work that he did there and in the early 2000s in WWE. So, yeah, come on, let's get real, guys. Goldberg's outdated. He's very boring, and please, all you Goldberg lovers, stop loving him. Look into it deeper than what you got. All you're getting, you look at what he's done in the past compared to what he's doing now, there's no comparison. What he did in the past was great stuff. He'd actually give you a 10-minute match. He performed better than what he does now. He could lift people up better. He was a lot stronger then. He was a lot quicker. Now he's a little bit slower. He's not exactly as good as what he used to be. But let's get off of that subject. That's for tomorrow when I actually do the review. So let's get into the very first round. The very first round of this draft was Becky Lynch getting drafted to Raw as the SmackDown Women's Champion. As you already know, folks, I predicted this on the SmackDown review over the weekend. No surprise there. That's an obvious one. The Usos got drafted to SmackDown. That was an obvious one. Roman Reigns had that nailed down pat. There was no doubt in anyone's mind that he was going to have the Usos leave Friday Night SmackDown. No way. The next person that was drafted to Raw was Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley is staying on Raw, and the pick for SmackDown was actually Sasha Banks. So nothing special there. Second round, we got the Seth Rollins joining Monday Night Raw along with Damian Priest still as the U.S. champion. We also had Shinsuke Nakamura with Rick Boogs drafted to SmackDown. And then we also had Sheamus going to SmackDown as well. More than likely, he's going to rival over the Intercontinental Championship with Shinsuke Nakamura, which I don't think would be a bad idea. I think that's kind of new, but with creative booking on WWE's end, I don't particularly think we're going to see a very successful booking scenario. So keep your eyes out for that. That's probably what's going to happen at some point down the line between those two, so don't be surprised if it does. All right, the third round, we saw Exit Lee and Shayna Baszler drafted to SmackDown, while AJ Styles and Omos, along with Kevin Owens, was drafted to Raw. Kevin Owens being on Raw is actually an interesting situation. This could lead to something positive. You could turn Kevin Owens heel and make him challenge Big E for the world title at some point in the near future, or possibly at WrestleMania. That could be a WrestleMania match, and make Big E lose the title to Kevin Owens. I'd be okay with that. You could also there was also an announcement. Finn Balor was drafted to Raw. Finn Balor could become a New Japan Wrestling heel version of himself and be a ultimate prick on Monday Night Raw and be a full-blown villain. That could be a possibility. But yeah, again, this draft was just fucking plain terrible. Okay, in round 4, we actually had the Viking Raiders and Ricochet go to SmackDown, while the Street Profits and Finn Balor, as I already mentioned earlier, went to Monday Night Raw. The tag team divisions continue to suffer. Why they don't go ahead and unify the tag team division is beyond me. I don't know. And to be perfectly honest with you guys, I don't care. The company is dreadful. I just review this shit on the channel because it gets me great reviews, or great views. So I greatly appreciate you guys for tuning in to these videos and wanting to hear my own story and my opinion and on how I feel about the show, and just based off of facts and reality. So I do appreciate your support and feelings towards the show as I do. And it just really, it shows that it's a terrible fucking show. Okay, folks, so round number 5 is the last one. We had Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza go to SmackDown along with Cesaro. He stays on SmackDown. We had Karrion Kross and Alexa Bliss drafted to Monday Night Raw. Round 5 was pretty fucking terrible. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, this entire draft was just fucking terrible, with a few good situations and just a few bullshit situations. Raw seemed to get a little bit more benefit from this, but not by much. I mean, they got Kevin Owens, they got Finn Balor. That's pretty much all they got. Seth Rollins and Edge are on Monday Night Raw, so we get to see that rivalry continue, which makes sense. I mean, I predicted that to happen anyway. Becky Lynch went to Raw anyhow. That's no surprise that she went there, and along with Seth Rollins, so that's no shocker by any means. To be perfectly honest with you guys, this whole thing, this draft was just weak, very predictable in most cases, especially with the big important storylines. Guarantee you, Drew McIntyre now drafted to SmackDown. We are going to see Drew McIntyre have a rival with Roman Reigns over the World Championship going into WrestleMania. Because there ain't going to be no Rock. There ain't no Rock. I don't think we're ever going to see The Rock return to a WWE ring. The man is getting old. He doesn't need wrestling either. Why he would even fathom of coming back to a pro wrestling ring and performing in front of an audience when he's making millions of dollars doing something that's more safe and less detrimental to his body is beyond me. The man's in his early 50s. He looks like he's in his early 40s. He looks 10 years younger. He doesn't need pro wrestling whatsoever, man. He's in terrific shape. He's living a good life. He's got loads of different business projects he does outside of acting. I mean, this guy is all over the place, making a fortune doing what he has to do for a living. He doesn't need pro wrestling at all. Pro wrestling is so beneath him, it's pathetic. I mean, it's really sad to say that, but when you compare how WWE is and what The Rock has done completely on his own, there's no comparison. There's no reason for him to come back to this company, to do anything for them. He's made it completely on his own, 100%. To come back and help Vince McMahon, it's just idiotic. Like, why would you even come back to help Vince McMahon? Vince McMahon didn't make you. You made you. The Rock made himself in the world of entertainment. With his words, his mouth, his facial expressions, his whole personality and everything he possessed as The Rock got him where he is today. It wasn't Vince McMahon that got him where he was. The Rock was going to, I'm just going to go by his real name. Dwayne Johnson was an excellent professional football player. If you watched what he did in college in Miami, University of Miami, with the Miami Hurricanes, he was awesome. I mean, this guy was the next Warren Sapp. He could have been Ray Lewis. He could have been whatever you want to call him. But he was a great defensive lineman. And the only reason why his career came short was because he injured his shoulder really badly. And it cost him a lot in his career and his opportunity to make the Professional Football League. So when you go ahead and you have something like that happen to you, that doesn't mean you were a shitty football player. It means that just something happened. Something bad happened to your health with your shoulder. You get a major injury with a body part. Sometimes it does hurt your career. Sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on how severe the injury was. In Dwayne Johnson's case, it was a major injury. But when you really think about it, this man was going to be successful anywhere he went. And I'm just going to cut this short right after this, because I know I've been talking about The Rock a little bit more than I should have when this is really about the WWE draft, but I'm trying to make a point here about Rock is not going to make an appearance or come back to face Roman Reigns. When I first saw The Rock in 1996, I was just a little kid. And I swear to you, I think I have the eye of I should be a prospect, a guy who's a guy that, looks at prospects, tries to find talent, a recruiter for a wrestling promotion, because I have an eye for talent. I knew the moment that The Rock came through the door, I didn't know anything about this dude. Even in his terrible getup, his terrible hair that he had, everything about him, the way he was talking and the way he was acting with the fans, he wasn't, great in that aspect. But what he did in the ring, I said to myself when I was a kid, this guy is going to be a super mega star. He's going to be a main eventer. And lo and behold, he disappeared for a little while. He came back. He joined the Nation of Domination. And then after he broke the Nation of Domination up, he was an instant superstar, man. This guy was doing things that, he became a main eventer over 1 year after he joined the Nation of Domination in 1997. By 98, he was already moving on to new things. He got to the main event spot quicker than Steve Austin did. Steve Austin took 2 years when he got to the WWF. The Rock only took a year and a half. He did it pretty damn quick, and he was awesome. He managed to pull it off, and he became a super mega star after that. And I just knew he was going to be a superstar the moment I saw him walk through made his debut match, personally. So, at the end of the day, guys, my point being is Rock is making a huge mistake if he returns back to the WWE to do any match with anyone, including Roman Reigns. Because it's beneath him. He doesn't need pro wrestling. Pro wrestling needs him at this point, at least with WWE. And I don't think he needs it. And I don't think any Hollywood producer is going to want him to perform if he's signed on to a project that he's a part of. Bottom line. So anyway, going back to the draft, I think this draft absolutely sucked. I don't think there was anything important about it. A few minor things took place that was kind of cool, but other than that, the fucking draft blowed, as usual. And I really think they ought to do away with the fucking the split draft, split roster, the brand split bullshit. It's utterly ridiculous, and it's really lame. But, hey, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Definitely get back to you on that. Hit the like button if you liked the video, of course. And hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great night, guys. Bye.